Okay, today I'm at Upper Mill Cemetery, established in 1806. This is on Old River Road in Darien, Georgia. This cemetery is connected to the Upper Mill Sawmill. That's a little bit further up the road right there, about a couple blocks south of here. The cemetery is located just north of the other Upper Bluff Sawmill, which a lot of people from Mentionville worked at the sawmill, and a lot of them are buried here as well. This used to be called the Old Presbyterian Cemetery, but they turned it into the Upper Mill Cemetery. Henry Todd also had a sawmill over there on the bluff too as well, called the Sansevilla Sawmill. Henry Todd was buried here, and so was William Cornican. Armand Fields, tax collector, is also buried here as well. It's Reverend William Rogers and several others. I try to find their graves out here. James Walker died in 1916, born in 1858. We got this little monument here and several other graves beside it. It says brother, mother. I'm gonna walk around to the other side, and it says father. Look at this one. This one's pretty old too. It had a fence around it one time, a brick fence. Kind of fell apart. Not sure who's buried here, but I'll try to find out. So you can tell there's a whole area right here that just fell down with time. See if I can find any names. Here's another gate. Tell it was really nice at one time. People buried in there. Okay, this is the monument in honor of Ann Livingston Bayard. Died in 1916, born in 1850. And James Atwood died in 1906. James Atwood was had a lot to do with early Darien history as well. So he and his wife are buried here in this part. Okay, coming to this mausoleum here, which was the Henry Todd's mausoleum. Henry Todd had a sawmill on Sansevilla Bluff over there by the waterfront in Darien. He was a very prominent figure during the sawmill days. He was very respected, and actually had kind of had something to do with the start of the school. You can see Mary Ann, wife of Henry Todd, born 1826, died in 1887. And this is Henry Todd, the one that owned the sawmill. He was born in 1820 and died in 1886. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's kind of close. 1886. But this is a script of Henry Todd and his wife. As you can tell, he was very influential because the crypts back then cost a lot of money, so you had to be wealthy to have a crypt like this. So Henry Todd was very wealthy, owned the sawmill, Sansevilla Bluff, or the Todd Mill. Very respected through the community. Had to do with the formation of the first freed men and women's school called Todd. It eventually became Todd Grant. See, the Todd part is named after him, and Grant's named after Dr. Grant. And this is one of the guys that had to do with the beginning of the schools. The school's named after him, the land and everything. And this is his mausoleum. This is a real unique. It has a fence around it with the fleur-de-lis on there. Just wrapped around the whole thing. Let's see what it says. Can't read the marker. It's kind of, there's nothing there. In memory of, last name William Bradley, looks like, died in 1832. So that's pretty old. William Bradley. And another one, I think it says died in 1885. Weaver? Michael Weaver, maybe? There's another one, James Beale, died in 1903. And another one that died, I can't see because of the branches, 1915. And the one over here died in 1883. So this, look at this one, it's got a fence around it too. See that? Old. He died in 1851. That goes way back to the sawmill days. And here is just it's pretty old too. You can't. died in 1922. Can't see the name. Here's another one with another fence around it. Huntington died in 1873. And Emma Huntington died in 1823, I believe. That's what it says there. Here's another real old one with a fence around it. See if I can see the name of it. It says Confederate, so this was obviously somebody in the Confederacy that was buried here during the Civil War. William Holmes died in 1921. He was a Mason. Here's a real old one I can't read. Looks like 1817 maybe? Houston? Hanson? This is Miss Sadie Kelly that died in 1869. That's pretty old. Another one, Rena Hall died in 1906. And Martha Hammond died in 1907. Here's another one in memory of Isaac Dexter, died in 1943. This one's got to be kind of unique because it's got a brick wall around it. Usually that denotes importance or money. They had a lot of money or wealthy. We'll see who's in there. This is a monument put here by J.C. Tuno. Used to own Chamonix Island, which was called Tuno Island, for somebody named George, a free person of color who died in the service of Darien, June 6, 1822, at age 25. Okay, this is the burial area of the left fields right here. He was a tax collector, but this is Sarah Ann Left Fields. She died in 1881. But this is their burial area here. Amanda Leffields died in 1870, and I can't read that one. John Leffields was buried there. Josiah Leffields was buried here in 1873, and there's more graves in there as well. It's one of those typical graves back then. They used to build a wall. If you was wealthy, you build a wall around your grave to keep it secure. And this is it right here, built in the 1800s. This is what's left of it right here. You can tell that was a mausoleum right here at some point. Not sure who was buried in that one. But this is it, the left fields. Here's another one surrounded by cinder blocks, old cinder blocks too. See that? Coleridge, I think, died in 1882. Another one, Reverend Robert Mifflin, died in 1895. London Anderson, born 1844, died in 1894. Robert Guthrie died in 1860. And another one of these monuments. Let's see who this is dedicated to. They died in 1883. Barrington King's the only that I can see on there. This is their little monument here. Hey, Sarah Beeler died in 1886. Here's one for Sutherland, the Sutherland family. Over here, can't read the date. 1900, I think. Good look at Upper Mill Cemetery. Very historic.